Hey, I've got a question for you. Have you ever been scared? I mean, have you ever just kind of lived in a little bit of fear and you just can't get over it? You know, fear is a part of life, and Zig Ziglar had a great statement. He said that fear spells out this. It's an acronym for false evidence appearing real. And a lot of times we go through life and we live in fear. In fact, many times tough people are just really fearful people. They're so insecure within themselves that they have to act real tough and have this macho bravado on the outside because they're so insecure in the inside. If you want to talk about fear, just look behind me. These are bucking bulls owned by Hunter and Billy Salter, a father and son, and Hunter is a bull rider that we sponsor. He's a young gun coming up in the rodeo ranks, and we sponsor him at our church. And these are his bucking bulls. And I'm going to tell you something. I used to ride bulls way back when I was a kid, many times, many years ago. That was back when Moses was riding bulls. And I can tell you this, if a bull rider doesn't deal with his fear, he is not going to be successful at what he does. In fact, fear will get him killed. And so every time one of these kids climbs on a bull to go compete, he's got to put the fear in the right place. And it's the same thing in life, folks. We're always going to have fear. It's just a part of life. But letting it dominate us is, well, that's where it's wrong. You know, the Bible says that God did not give us a spirit of fear or timidity, but He gave us a spirit of sound mind, of toughness. And many times we go through life and we miss out on God's purpose in our life because we live in fear. We're afraid we're going to fail. We're afraid people aren't going to like us. We're afraid we don't look right. And we live in fear. Now, fear can be a part of somebody's life that has mental illness, and that's a whole nother subject we'll talk about someday, because I feel the church has failed with mental illness, and there are people that deal with that. But then just daily fear. Do you know that there's 365 plus verses in the Bible where the Bible says, fear not? That's one for every day. Fear not, that we can go through this life and we can live above and beyond the fear, and we can live the purpose that God intended us to be. If you don't know me, I'm Curt Miller. I'm the pastor of East Mountain Cowboy Church, and we do a devotional every week because we just want to help you out and get through life. We just all agree and believe that life gets messy, and sometimes these cowboys get on these bulls, they get hung up, and it's just like in life. Sometimes we get hung up. So if you're hung up, here's what I want you to do. First of all, I want you to look at the fear that you're facing and asking, is it really a fear? Or is it something that I've just let my mind believe? Do you know that they tell us that 90% of the things that happen in our life never come true? We just build it up in our own mind. You see, the battle for Christians is the battle of the mind, and that's where Satan gets into our head and starts causing us to think things. That's why the Bible says, be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. So if 90% of the things don't happen, what happens to the other 10%? Well, 8% of those things have fixable solutions and only 2% don't. And most people tell you that those 2% fall into taxes and death, which we all have to face. So here's what I want to encourage you to do. I want you to sit down and look at the fear that you're dealing with and really ask yourself, is this something that I've just conjured up in my own head? Is it something that I've let the enemy just cause me to believe? And what are the solutions? Write it down. Talk to somebody. Get some help. And then come up with some action steps to start moving through that fear and begin to coach yourself mentally, just like you coach yourself when you go to the gym, just like you take time to learn how to swing a golf club, swing a rope, whatever we do that we like, we spend time to get better. Well, Paul says that we are to spend time to work on our spiritual life more so than we do on developing our physical bodies. He actually says that. And so then second thing I want you to do, outside, once you've identified it and you've talked to somebody, secondly, come up with some action steps, and then third, do a Bible study and look up fear not. And every day, quote one of those scriptures that it says fear not. Hey folks, we're here to help you. We love you. If you ever get in this area in Edgewood, New Mexico, stop by. We'd love to meet you. And always remember this, God is for you all the time. Vile con Dios.